What's up, Metal Militia Captain? Thank you for the good luck. Thank you for stopping by. I'm gonna set up new splits for any percent NMG. So hello folks to anybody who just came up to the stream. I'm gonna start learning Dread with a different control scheme. This is what I tried to do when I first got my Switch 2, but it was a bad idea for the marathon. But now that the marathon's done, I don't have to worry about that anymore. And I'm gonna relearn with a different control scheme. So I'm gonna make a lot of mistakes. I'm gonna basically like go back, I don't know, a couple years in practice because, yeah, my muscle memory is just too used to do one thing, and I'm just gonna keep doing the run. So basically, I'm gonna do from now on. I'm gonna do some runs to kind of, you know, fix that, get used to the new control scheme. The changes are, I can actually just show you guys the differences, to be honest. I used to have both D-pads bound to Y, both left and right, and I used to have the right stick mirroring the L stick. That's still in there. I also still have the left D-pad bound to Y, the shooting button. So the big change is I'm removing the right D-pad from the rebinds. I'm rebinding the R trigger to be the shooting button so I can do raking. And I've also rebound the paddles to missile mode. So I'm now using missiles with those back buttons on the Procon too. So that's going to change a few things. Opening doors, killing enemies is going to be with pressing G, L, or GR, right? That's the name of these buttons. So yeah, that is taking a while to process for me. Yeah, I'm super, it's like whenever I see a missile cover, whenever I see an enemy that I have to fire a missile to, I just press R, which now is just standard shooting mode, which I use for raking. I have not really, you know what, actually I think I'll practice a little bit of boss rush first so I can get used to this. I have to get used to this before I can even do runs, and I don't think, have I even done practice in this? Oh boy, I haven't. I have never done boss rush before. I guess I'm gonna have to get used to it, which is fine. I also have to get used to this for bosses. Corpius, Kraid, bots, what's up, Golden Retro? Change the muscle memory completely. Yep. So this isn't as bad as the rebind used to be for Procon 1, because you had to swap out slide with shooting button with missile mode. Like it was a three-way swap, but I can make it, you know, a smaller swap on the Procon 2 since we got extra buttons in the back. But it's still gonna take some time for me to get used to. And my problem with the back buttons right now is that that's where my fingers usually rest. That's where I'm like pressing against the controller for stability. So now I have to get used to an entirely different way to grip the controller so I don't accidentally trigger missile mode when I don't need it, when I don't want to. Which I still do it a lot. I find myself mixing up grapples with the, you know, grapple mode, which is the ZR button, with GR. I sometimes have to just grapple doors. I instead open missile mode because it just, I'm just kind of a little confused with this at the moment. But all in due time, I'm sure that I'll get used to it. I also did get used to my old rebind with time, so yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna do a bit of boss rush so I can unlock all the bosses. I don't really care much about the curing time. Good to know by the Procon 2. Yeah. These are the things that you don't know until you get the controller. I also really dislike how much snapback this controller gets. Even worse than Procon 1. That's not very good Corpius. Anyway. But yeah, that's why I didn't learn raking on Switch 1, because it would be a lot of work to relearn that. Oh, I actually have to do... Oh, charge. Oh, charged missiles are tougher to do this way. Well, not tougher, just different. Man, I'm gonna have to relearn a lot. Even some small things that I used to do just as easy as breathing, now I actually have to think about stuff again. Decent enough grade. Nah, actually that's shit grade, wow. I think like best times are like sub 30, that's actually shit. Or, you know, for current standards that was actually really bad. Ooh. 11, not good. If I still know how to do this thing. I still... Nah, I don't know how to do this thing anymore. Hello? Oh well. All I need is just to get to... I just need to get Ravenbeak. I'm pretty sure that a really good boss rusher would be ending right about now. That's just how much people have improved at this thing. Oh no, I must have been like a couple of missiles off. Real. Oh, where do I store missiles? Yikes. It was Sublimo, thank you for the good lucks. Wait, was that third personing who? Me? Oh! Alright, so... I used to be able to like 12 seconds or something. That's... damn. Is that really good boss rush runner? Oh yeah, of course, Limo, of course. And Golzuna outside of runs just sucks because you don't get that initial speed booster. Ugh. Oh god. Oh my goodness, I'm like one step off of this. That took like half an hour. Oh my god, how will I ever get used to this? I was so used to my old control scheme. 30 seconds on this shit, jeez. Every boss fight is taking so long. I don't think I even have enough HP to... I don't think I have enough HP to go for the Shrine Spark, do I? All I get is missiles, dude. Okay, now I might have. And I can't even go for the Shrine Spark because I suck. Dude, these things are like half an E-tank in damage. I can believe this is the boss that took me the longest. Holy crap. Alright, here comes some actual practice. Can I even do 15 hertz with this? Am I good enough? No, I am not good enough to do 15 hertz yet, chat. Huh? What? Damn, that was really bad. I think. Oh man, this is a lot I'm gonna have to improve. 1/5, that's, geez, that's almost a minute lost at Ravenbeak. That is super bad. I've never really put much time into getting a good boss rush, chat. The last time I did, I got a 5 minute something. And that was years ago. Hey, what's up, Sonic? New NMG Kappa! Well, it's more like new control scheme over new NMG, but I mean, we'll take it too. Oh man, this is gonna be such a bad run if I just go straight for a run. But like, I also have to get used to everything that happens in run. Missile doors, enemies. I just got Procon 2. Yep, we're on Procon 2. Huh? The ball just went through me. Wow. I need to remember to actually start with missiles and crossbomb. Oh yeah, I'm not good enough to actually do this. Is it actually any good? I just gotta switch to for MP4, but I'm about to get into Procon 2 TBH. Okay, if you have an issue with snapback, don't get it. This controller has a lot more snapback than Procon 1. For that alone, I wouldn't recommend. It actually pisses me off how much snapback I get in the game. Even in places that I used to not get snapback at all. Like, I was getting, just before I started doing this, I went to do a little bit of practice. On short boost, I was trying to go for one trip short boost, and I wasn't grabbing the ledge because she just kept snapping away from the ledge. You know that ledge where you do the setup to start short boosting? That ledge. Imagine just being almost too short on HP, and the game just like snaps you away. Holy shit. So just off of that alone, I do not recommend. I do like the back paddles. I do like having that option to make a better setup, a better control scheme for raking, because on the Switch 1 without the paddles you have to swap those 3 buttons, right? You have to swap Y, R, and ZL, I think that's for sliding. So you just kind of do like you kind of rotate these inputs, and I just didn't want to do that because I want to still be able to do all the tricks I usually do in unrestricted. So I'm like, okay, well, these guys can save 20 seconds or whatever with raking, and I'm gonna continue to be able to do shine sinks and bomb his Q and whatever, right? So I don't mind if the other runners save 20 seconds on me if I want to continue to do unrestricted. But on Switch 2, I feel like it's not as bad. But to be honest, I mean, you can probably get a much cheaper controller that also has back paddles and maybe doesn't snap back nearly as bad, right? Let's be honest. So I don't necessarily regret getting the controller because it does feel pretty nice. I do like how smooth the control sticks are compared to Pro 1. I do like that the clicks are a bit more silent. It's actually nicer for mashing too. Atom mashing and stuff. The buttons feel a bit nicer to mash with, but the extra snapback, dude, this is 2025 Nintendo. What the hell, right? Yeah, that's my opinion on Procon 2. That's the extent of how much I've played with it. I still do get snapback in other games, like in Pokemon ZA, but it doesn't really matter much in that game. not like I'm doing speedruns on that. What's up, hamster? Give it some time. Muscle memory needs time to readjust. I believe in you. Thank you, Leoma. It's definitely going to take me some time to get used to this again. I basically have to relearn this game with the different control scheme. It takes a lot of time. It may not seem tough at first glance, but it takes time. It took me a long time to master D-pad mashing, and I was doing it like I was just switching between grips, like standard grip and the grip I do for D-pad mashing, and I was also able to slide and turn around and all that stuff. I was able to multitask all that I needed and switch one grip to the other to do other things like jumping and then go back to the mash grip. And right now I'm not used at all to switching to raking and back. That's gonna take a long while to do that. That's gonna take a long time of practicing. Unless you want to go for a new muscle memory percent. Well, I do want to get it down as fast as possible because I do plan on playing Metroid Prime 4 when it comes out in 28 days, Chad. 28 days. It's been longer. It has been longer before, right? That was a point in time where we might have had to wait like 14 years or some bullshit like that for Prime 4. Isn't that right, chat? Here we are. Captain Retro and a really good boss rush runner. Captain Retro? Well, I'm sure there are some really good boss rush runners. There are that I know of. Was it Noyazaki, Marshmallow, B-Dog? I don't know. I think the best times is something like a I could be wrong, but I think best runners have like sub 4-minute boss rush, which is insane. Bro is chopped. What? You guys are cooked in chat. I think the secret to this is to... Oh, I even grapple there. Well, I don't know what's the secret to this, to be honest, but... It's gonna take me so long to get used to this. Man, it's such a challenge figuring out a good way to hold the controller for this. The only reason why I don't continue with my old control scheme is that it was actually very exhausting to my wrist. And this is much better. But I now have new challenges to solve. Oh. Oh, he's dead. Oh man, the hardest challenge for me right now with breaking is that, so instead of having missile on ZL, which I think is what other runners do, I have missile on GL or GR. So in this case, while I'm raking, I only use GR, right? But to actually mash there, it's very weird because that's where, if I were doing ZR or any other kind of mashing, I would be putting my fingers there to stabilize the controller. So the hand that's like holding the controller and stabilizing now has to figure out a way to still have the controller stable and like click the back paddle, which basically I'm basically shifting the whole weight of the controller every time I activate the missile to weave. So I feel like the only good way to do this is to just suddenly push the controller against my belly to actually give the controller stability, because the hand alone is not going to be able to do this. Otherwise the controller is just wobbling around. So I have to just suddenly push it against my belly or chest or whatever, or legs. I don't know what's best yet. So that, and I need to have enough room on my middle finger so it can tap the GL button. And I also have to hold free aim with, you know, on L, aim around with the control stick. I could actually use the middle finger for ZL and the, I don't know what's the other finger's name, but like, not the pinky, second to the pinky, that one. Maybe that's the one I use for GL, and oh my goodness, this is a fucking mess, chat. It's gonna take me years of rewiring muscle memory into like, how do you even use these fingers? Guys, do you even use your pinky or the other stupid finger for anything? They're just, I only have 3 fingers. That's 2 fingers and the thumb, and the other's like just decoration. How do I actually like make these fingers function, chat? I'm gonna have to figure it out. The hardest challenge for me now is having a controller being mashed next to my ears. Well, you got extra mashing, extra crunchy, because that's what raking does. Raking is extra crunchy mashing. Damn, that's hard to say fast. Turn your apps to use the pedals. You know, if we had a pedal for mashing, wouldn't that be cool? I'm not sure extra hardware. I mean, wait, if alternate controllers are allowed with even like virtual buttons and stuff, I think a pedal would be acceptable, right? A pedal for mashing. Yo, I used to play drums way back in the day. It was actually pretty cool to do double pedals for a while. What if I just do the drummer approach for mashing? Just double pedal for that shit. That would just solve everything. Yo, I think you might just have the right of it, hamster. Ben Hero X Metroid. Yo, how would I gear up to like drum controls %? How would I gear up to mod my controller with a double pedal like a drumstick, like a drum kit? Dude, I don't have a way to do that, but if I had, I wonder how difficult it would be to gear up for that. Well, one thing I know for sure, chat, I'm currently losing minutes on boss fights because it is what it is. It's gonna take me a while to get used to this crap. I'm gonna see if I have a save file that... Yo, this one has 130 missiles. I think this is the save file. One of my backup files for the marathon. I'm just gonna watch the extras so I don't have to get this notification every time. One of my backup files for the marathon, and this one was for 100% unrestricted. Boom. I guess I would still need to do hard mode to get the rest. Whatever. Are you using minutes because you're doing crazy long monologues? Dang, am I? Crazy long monologue. You're right, though. You're right. More gaming, less talking. This is the save file that's after Raven BKX, so I can probably use this for a little bit of matching practice. So like in theory, I understand how raking should work. Like I don't even have to do this very fast, and you can see that the shots are just very, you know, very well grouped up. Like I'm not even moving my hand very fast at all to do this. But to just switch grips and do this on demand, I can't do that. Like, for me to do this, I just put my hand there, do a few swipes and everything, and then kind of just get used to the rhythm all over again. But to just do this on demand in a boss fight, it's not gonna happen. Not that cleanly anyway. Not yet. But I've already done some of the practice with the Procon 1, like, months ago, when I tried raking for the first time. I just have to actually get good. I'm gonna see him use this. What are you on about, hamster? A drum con? Is that a drum con? So just the beams is fine, but when I start adding missiles, the weight of the controller shifts and the way my hand hits the buttons is different. It's not like I'm pressing missile for too long. Well, I guess maybe it is. But that's not the only issue. Man, this is actually really tough. Oh, this guy dies in one shot because we're in escape, of course. Of course. Man, my beams still have too many gaps. And I find it easier to aim to the left because I have more room to move around my finger for some reason. I don't like how many gaps I have while I'm weaving. Do you think there could get an extra finger added surgically? If it serves more than just decoration, maybe that would be nice. But you know what? The regulation is hard enough as it is with just human players and their silly controllers. Imagine if the speedrun communities now had to regulate for body implants and extra limbs. Like, only people with 2 arms are allowed to run this, only people with 5 fingers on each hand, or at most 5 fingers in each hand. If you have extra fingers or stuff, then maybe there needs to be a new category for people that have, you know, extra functional fingers, because that gives them an advantage that standard humans don't have. Oh boy, that would be a whole problem. You know what? It's probably a good thing that we were born in this age. Maybe in like 50 years or 100 from now, people that's going to be a reality, and all these fancy fun things we do to enjoy our games in time are just going to be hell. Yeah, that's it. That's it, chat. 100 years from now, you're going to have to be running. People are going to be running against people with that kind of weird implants. Yep, that's it. And you can all thank Hamster for giving the idea. Yep. It's all your fault, Hamster. Depends on where he wants the extra finger. Either on my belly, because that's where I'm gonna like dock the controller for stability, or on the hand. I don't know which is best, chat. You tell me. Where do you think the finger is going to be generally more useful? On the hand or the belly? And why? 500 words on that, chat. Your homework. Dude, this is easy to do if I'm just doing beams, but as soon as I add weaving, I lose beams. I'm losing beams. Like, I feel like I can move it, my hand at least like 4 or 5 times faster, but it doesn't really change much. I can move real slow and still get a good amount of mash. I can tell by the beams. I can move my hand pretty darn slow and still get my beams to go closer than when I was D-pad mashing. It's like less than half the effort. It is still some effort though. I've now been doing this for several minutes and my wrist is only now starting to feel a little tired, whereas, you know, 30 seconds would be enough to get me tired with my old grip. So that is saying something, chat. Wow, how could I ever come up with an essay about a random topic with a minimum word count? No, that, oh wait, I in my mind that was actually maximum word count. Well, I mean, if you want it to be minimum, you could go for a 5,000. 30 seconds to get you tired of the whole grip. So the way I did this before, I would put my thumb. So I'm holding the controller with the left hand as normal, and just standard grip, standard controller, pro controller grip. And the left hand, the right hand, I put the thumb, like my right hand is not gripping the controller. I just put right thumb across the D-pad, left and right, and I just roll. You know, this is my old grip. You're kind of seeing the option, like go back and forth. That was my old grip, right? It is very tiring to do that. And then I also had to weave, and I was weaving with the same hand. So thumb is going left and right on the D-pad like this, and then I'm pressing R. I'm just like tapping R every now and then to get missiles in between the beams. So that's a lot for just one hand. And I was actually, you know, I had spent like most of the time that I played Dread, I've spent most of that time practicing and perfecting that grip, and I was actually really good at it. Still am. So good that I can actually like multitask most everything. Of course, if I have to jump and stuff, I have to interrupt. But That is very exhausting for the wrist. And raking, in comparison, I was able to sit there and shoot for minutes, and I was only starting to feel a little bit of exhaustion, but now that I've stopped, I feel fine. And that's why I'm not gonna go back to the old grip, as nice as it has, as nicely as it has served me. But yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna continue to grind this bullshit. So I'm gonna make splits for any percent NMG. I'm gonna do a test run. I don't expect much of it, chat. Don't expect much from my run. It's gonna take me a long while to get used to this. I'm not gonna get a PB, probably. I'm not gonna get a world record. Like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. But we're gonna have some fun, maybe. Or I'm just gonna rage, one of the two. NMG, any percent NMG Stormscape. I do have a split for this. I think I'm gonna lead my times. I never expect much from. Wow, hamster! I can't believe. Wait, shit! No, I still. This is the layout from. Oh no, it's. This is the layout from the marathon, but I don't need that anymore. I think my computer is now defaulting to that. Folder of live split. Let me rectify that. All right. Let me rectify that. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna open up NMG Stormscape. Make sure I'm using Dread's layout. The rectifier. That's mean, saying you never expect much from my runs. Hey, I had a 107.36 before, which was technically a PB. I think, yeah. Before Stormscape, my PB was a 108, I think, which I played off stream and never submitted. So it technically does not exist. It existed in my heart, that's all. Alright, I'm gonna clean up these segments, making sure that the splits are correct. Ice, gravity, cross, wave, power. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna start calling this Ravenbeak. So, charge, cloak, magnet, carries, lava, antidoron, wide, morph, fire, diffusion, bomb, shift, booster, grapple beam, screw, Leafrania, intergovern, super, plasma, ice, gravity, cross. Okay, this is correct. That is correct. Okay. Let's do this, whatever this is. Oh boy, here we go. This is gonna be one heck of a run where I forget to use the correct button for missiles like 100 times. But this needs to happen so that I can get used to it. Good old cuck. Thank you for the good old cucks, hamster. Appreciate it. Oh no. Well. Well. Oh yes, I got him, chat. First try, let's go, dude. I can't believe I got that first try. I was ready to just submit myself to torture and reset a few times. Here we go. The snapback, no. Easy. Oh yeah. Man, I love when I get that first try. Last thing I want to do right now is just reset, because I need to practice the whole run, but if I don't get this... If I don't get this one trick... It would suck. Oh, where's my second shot? Oof. No! Do I still get headlock? Oh, I still got headlock. Nice. Ah, this could have been much better headlock. I messed up the fire rate and actually kind of stalled a few shots, but... Am I just getting returner's luck? Like getting all these nice RNG first try, Emmy bomb, because I'm just on this setup and I'm not really gonna make the most of it in a run? Kinda like getting Emmy Warp and RBX first try on the first session of practice for unrestricted and then not actually getting it in the proper runs. Oh, oh my god, this is another place to get snapback. There's nothing I can do about that. There's nothing I can do about that. If I don't neutral stick, I'll grab the ledge. But if I just let go, she just goes the other way and stalls even for even bigger time loss. Like, wow. Basically, no matter what I do, I'm gonna lose time. If I just try to Giga Weave, I'm most likely just gonna grab a ledge. If I neutral, it's just gonna snap back. And she lands on the platform where she wasn't even supposed to touch the platform. Replacement sticks? I don't think the controller is damaged. I think Procon 2 is just like this. It's just terrible snapback. I've heard as much from other runners and anyone that has tested this for Dread. It's not a problem. Like the control is actually just this bad with snapback. All effect replacement sticks? I mean, there might be something like that from a third-party controllers, but I don't know. It would probably not be very easy to do. I don't know. I know there were some people who did modding for Pro 1 controllers. I remember Carter Freak talking about that this one time. But he actually sent his controller to get it modded. He had to send, like, I don't know, ship it or something. I doubt that would be easy to do from Europe anyway. But if it was possible for me to replace the sticks with Hall Effect, then I might even do that, even if it voids the warranty, like whatever. It's not like they fix controllers even with the warranty on, right? Oh, weird deboost, but okay. Oh no. Okay. That slide into the door still feels weird, because I usually enter missile mode just before I slide Phantom, but now that I have to do a different input combo for that, it just feels weird. I did summon line battling in ZA to get special metastones. What one do I use against you, hamster? Oh, nice. I still have to do that, Limo. I still have to try the new season. I would like to go for those dream balls, because apparently there's no other way to get dream balls in the game. He says good luck. Yo, Limo, if you're available later, might I borrow you for some trade evolutions? Well, I'll ask again later, I guess, but... Oh my god, the snap... Dude, Jesus Christ, it's either snap back into the platform... Oh my god, dude! I never have snapback there on Switch 1. Holy shit! It's actually so bad! This is so bad, dude! The amount of time loss I've had just from stupid snapback is ridiculous. It's either grab the ledge or get snapback. There's no in between with Procon 2. I wasn't joking about it, Sonic. It's actually that bad. Like, every ledge drop is a snapback so far. I don't know how to handle this. I hope I'll figure out a way to minimize this snapback on this controller. But the problem is that I've already done that on the Pro 1. I've already done that on the Pro 1, which had bad snapback, but this is a new level. I don't know if I don't know how much coping I can do with the controller. This really pisses me off, dude. Snapback too. I mean, yeah. Huh? Oh, I think my standing... Like, my idle grip on the controller is kind of aiming down a bit. I need to get used to that. But, like, I don't have time to just gracefully reset the control stick to neutral every single time. Dude, this is so annoying. Oh, at least I got Hell Pseudo. Literally took me 2 battles to get a Mega Stone. Let's go. Hey, what's up, Robbie? Sorry, I missed your message. I'll come on in, Robbie. I could not see your messages amidst all my assault. 100% my fault. Sorry about that. What? It took so long to open. Alright, a little late on the melee. That should have worked, but I think I wasn't holding right. Nope. That should work. It took way too long. Huh? What? Dude, what? Oh my lord. No problem with lurking since about 50 minutes into stream. Work stuff and trying to find a solid 3DS Relic case. Yeah, I hope you find it. It might be rough to find one since 3DS is kind of phasing out of it. 409? Holy shit! Wait, what? That doesn't seem right. There's no way this segment was 40. That doesn't seem right. Did I really waste that? Huh? Is that right? Huh? Wait, I feel like that's like almost an entire minute behind a decent time for... Where did I waste all that time? I know it wasn't, it was like 4th try Adam and I wasted a bunch of time on that pseudo, but like a whole minute? Wait. Did I go AFK at some point or what? What the fuck? Am I just mixing up times with another category? Huh? No, this might be correct. Might be correct, actually. It's been a hot minute since I ran 80% NMG. Okay, no, that's probably correct. So 409 was 136. 520 something. Wait, no. 545. I think that's close enough to the best times you can get on Switch 1, but I lost a lot of time, so not really. Man, this darn load. For some reason, Darren loads on Switch 2 are ridiculous on regular room transitions. Bro fell off. Also, I think I also got a little bit of weird snapback on the magnet. I don't know. The jumps felt off for some reason. Maybe it wasn't snapback. Maybe it's just my imagination. I think best times for wide beam used to be like 139, 138-ish, so being a few seconds ahead of that is kind of nice too. Oh, I'm supposed to melee there, not slide. Okay. Yikes. All these conflicting inputs, so... I probably don't even need to do the mashing here for the plate. If I could murder the enemy before it steps up before it takes that step, then the mashing would be nice. If I can do that, it's not worth probably. Is that even possible? I don't know. I haven't watched much of what other runners do. I don't know how much rakers have tried to break the game with breaking. It might not even be possible, but if it might come close, maybe. I don't know. I might try it out one of these days. Damn, I actually got to climb, but it was slow. Damn. And my problem with breaking there is, with all the shots and particles happening, I can't even see if the plate is getting melted properly. I couldn't tell when it's done melting or not. I might just not go for mashing there. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just something I have to get used to, but with good raking, there's just too many particles, too many VFX there cluttering the screen. Oh. One of the few times I actually get through that tunnel clean. Never mind. Yeah, exactly. The shockwave kind of gets in the way of, well, understanding whatever the heck's happening in the game. All right. $217 Varisuit. That's like 10 seconds better than my usual Varisuit, which checks out. I think loads are like 10 seconds faster. I think that checks out. Sub 220 is definitely unheard of on Switch. Oh my god, it really missed the door. Really, really. Okay. I have not practiced charge shots or charge missiles enough with this new setup. It's not necessarily harder, it's just different. Though I have to grip the controller to do this is just different. It took me a while to get used to charge missiles. It's gonna take me another while to get used to it again. Okay. Wait, I actually got that quick, what? What? She didn't aim away. I was aiming away. What the heck, dude? I was aiming away. Huh? What a trash crate. That's even worse than the Switch 1 times. Oh well. So going off of boss rush times, the best raking times on Ravenbeak are like, I don't know, 47 seconds, 48, something like that, something along those lines. My best Ravenbeak so far has been a 59, and I stopped there with my my mashing method, not raking. So I expect rakers to be saving those 10-15 seconds. Well, I'm not gonna get a 1 minute Ravenbeak in a run, most likely anyway. But yeah, they're probably gonna be having an advantage over me on Ravenbeak. Especially now that I changed the control scheme, I'm not used to it. Probably gonna be losing a whole minute instead. That's not very nice. It means that even if I have a good run, still gonna lose a lot of time at Ravenbeak. Another thing that took me a while to get used to on this controller, and I still haven't quite gotten used to, is that the edges of the control stick slots, where you know basically the limits for how far you can push the control stick, these edges are very smooth. And on the Switch 1, if I applied some force to the control stick, I could keep it in place. I've grown very used to doing that for the angle rebind methods. On Switch 2 it's hard because the edges are so smooth that it's super easy for the control stick to just move out of position. So the rebind method is harder to do, I feel like, on Switch, on Procon 2. It's all too easy to get the stick aiming out of the way. Another something to work on, I guess. Dude, you only realize how much faster unrestricted is than NMG when you look at those... When you look at Morph Ball and Varia Suit times. Like, this is on Switch 2. Getting sub 18 minutes Morph Ball was like borderline top, like actually just no more time to save there on Switch 1. And I just got it with this half-assed run. I mean, the early game wasn't bad, to be honest, but it can always be better. Especially Catters could be a lot better. Morph time's like what, 13 minutes morph ball? And that's on Switch 1. Damn, that was kind of a weird start to the bombs. I'm surprised I actually made it. So like the run so far overall hasn't been too bad, I think. Like in terms of movement, it's not that different because the controls are the same, but whenever I have to do some mashing or missiles, it just gets a little awkward. But that awkwardness is gonna cost some time for sure. One thing that took me a good amount of time to get used to on Switch 2, and I'm more used to now, is the quicker loads everywhere. I mean, you would expect that the Switch 2 would have faster loads, obviously, but coming out of central units used to take a lot of time, and now it's just really fast. I was used to that delay, and now the game just kind of like starts sooner than I expect. I mean, it's a good thing, but also something to get used to. Oh, that was almost a little too early on that jump. Probably don't need to, but I think until I'm like 100% back with the controls, I might just take that extra E-tank. I am not able to do the speed keep on Switch 2 with that room transition into the save room is always super long. I just can't do the speed keep there because of that. I might as well just start storing early and Shine Spark through the next room, I don't know. Yo, what's up, Blue Harvey? What's the new control scheme? I'm now doing braking, so I have shooting button on trigger on the R trigger, and I have missiles on the back paddles for the Procon too. It's a bit more of a minimal rebind for raking, but it's entirely new muscle memory. I didn't want to learn raking on, oh my god, on Switch 1. Because I didn't want to stop being able to do the unrestricted tech. So now this is like the best solution I got. Let's do this short boost. Here we go. Oh no. Another snapback, wow. Shit. Damn, all I got was missiles from that. Oof. Oh my god, even short boosting does feel different with this control stick. Okay, this. What? Dude, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Seriously? Oh my god, that was it. Why? Why? She didn't even flash it. What the fuck, dude? That was a very good setup. No. Okay, I'm just gonna do the old setup like this so I can look at the control stick. Jesus Christ, 3 minutes on that. I have a lot of work to do with screw tack short boost. That's like almost 2 minutes lost, jeez. Like a good first trip is like 120-ish, so that's literally 2 minutes lost just on short boost. The snap back again. How much faster is Switch 2 compared to Switch 1 console-wise? So for the loads, it's like... I mean, it does vary with the area you're loading into. For example, I think Artaria is the largest area in the game, so it takes longer to load into Artaria than other areas. I think something like 10 seconds per load is more or less accurate, but again, it does depend. It's just a rough estimate that I'm giving. It's probably not even accurate, but something like that. Less than 1 month till Prime 4. Wonder if that game will have a sizable community. Well, I hope so. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I know Dread was a huge community right when the game released. And then it dwindled down over time, of course. I guess that happens to all games. Although we of course had some intense drama that made it worse. As for Prime, I really don't know what to expect. Considering that's true, that's true. We were still kind of in the midst of it. Or starting to come out of confinement, at least in Portugal, I think. We're starting to come out of confinement. Yeah, a lot of people did speedrun the game early on. I mean, Dread. But I don't know, like, Prime's a very different game. I think it's a lot easier for people to pick up a 2D platformer than a first-person shooter, basically, as a speedrun game. I'm not sure if Prime's gonna have the same kind of hype that Dread had, but there are a lot of people that like the Metroid series. I might be surprised. Oh god, I can't even count the number of times I've got snapback since I started this stupid run. Holy crap. I get snapback on basically every ledge drop. It's so stupid. And there's not much I can do about it. There's no other way for me to just hop off a ledge. Like, I just hop off a ledge and release the stick so I don't grab any ledges, and she just falls backward. Like, there's nothing to be done, man. Are you playing on new or old Pro? I'm playing on Procon 2, which is actual shit of a controller. Chat, if you guys are considering getting a Procon 2 for speedrunning, don't. If you get it for casual gaming, cool. If you're gonna get it for speedrunning, don't. It's actual garbage. This controller is actual garbage, dude. Fuck my life. Remember garbage at least. It's kind of funny that when I looked up information on Procon 2, a lot of people commenting on the controller were like, oh, this controller is nice, it feels premium. God damn it. It's actually the comment that most casual users leave on the controller. It feels premium. Holy crap. I guess it's up for debate, Harvey. Maybe if you get a good controller that doesn't snap back nearly half as much as mine, maybe it'll be good. But As far as my experience goes, it snapbacks way too freaking much. Do not rec. Oh my god, dude! Really? Oh, wow. The one fly that survived my diffusion was actually in the way of my flash shift. You can make this up. You got the worst. No, this is not the worst control in the line. Other runners that have played with Procon 2 have the same complaints. It's not a defect, it's a feature, mine. No, this is not the worst controller. This is Procon 2, the way it's meant to be. More snapback. Fuck this controller. Oh, I just can't, man. I watched Dots and Goats play Dread with Procon 2. He had the same complaint. B-Dog had the same complaint. I think Delusional Prince also had the same complaint. Like, now I actually get to see how really bad this is. It's actually really freaking bad. Unbelievable. The best of the premium trash. That would have been nice. As I said, this feels nice to play casually, but it feels nice to play games casually with this, but to speedrun, like, I've had snapback on like every ledge drop I've had since I started the run. You understand how bad that is? Like, almost every ledge drop. I wish I were kidding. I'm not kidding. Yo, I got a best time save of the year. This is good. Because I have to use GR shot now as opposed to R shot to get it done. Is it all possible that it had... Wait. Is the Jerk-On 2 better for speedrunning? I had no idea. So it is possible to play Switch 2 with Procon 1. In fact, I did that for the unrestricted 100% marathon I've done recently, like 2 weeks ago now. Or something. It's definitely an option. It doesn't have the back paddles if you wanted that, but it doesn't snap back nearly as much, so yeah, that's a good thing. little better with tracking now. So we're gonna get a 317. I'm not sure how that compares with my old times on Switch 1. I had general good movement through this section. I lost time with the warrior fight. My mashing wasn't good. But I think the 317 is plenty good. I mean, compared to Switch 1 times. Not compared with the Switch 2 times. Oh, you ran on Joy-Con 1. I must have sucked mine. I'm just kidding. I used to play Splatoon with Joy-Cons because it just made sense for me intuitively to aim with the Joy-Con. But I know my runs would not have been nearly as effective on Joy-Con. Ironically, it wasn't bad to skill issue. I could not have done runs on Joy-Con. It just would not have worked for me. I can't mash with the Joy-Cons. There's no way I could mash with the Joy-Cons. The buttons are a lot harder to press. Wow, we got the God Pseudos! But I've already lost a lot of time in this segment, so it doesn't even matter. Oh no, I even got deboosted backward. God damn it. Dude, hello? Oh, that's so dumb. I lost so much time that Switch 1 could still do better than this. Plenty of time to save here, chat. Whoa! I forgot about how to do that. Okay. The travel back for Joy-Con is kind of nicer when I ran. Really? But I got used to it. Well, that's a factor as well. You can certainly get used to new controllers and schemes and stuff. How it is. Oh shit. That sucked. That was a nice backup, but that sucked. Huh, did I get gravity ball? Oh, I need another flash, not a melee. I mean, the human body can adapt to terrible conditions, but that doesn't make set conditions any less terrible. That is very true. That is very true. I used to play Splatoon with Joy-Cons, and it made sense to me because aiming with Joy-Cons was more intuitive than aiming with grip on with my grip on a Pro-Con. Just whatever. And I mean, having played more with the Pro-Con now, the buttons are much easier to press, much nicer to press, right? You can definitely get used to different things for different games too. But like for speedrun, ain't no way. I mean, I can totally understand, like, if you don't want to, if you don't want to put money on a Joy-Con, like, whatever. If you don't want to spend money on a Pro-Con, like that's totally understandable, and just make the most of what you have. That's totally fine, right? But your hands will probably thank you for it if you go with the Pro-Con instead. It depends on the game, right? But like the clicking on a Pro-Con button is much smoother than Joy-Con. My hands would probably have been deleted by now if I did Joy-Cons because the buttons are so much harder to press. It didn't bother me much in Splatoon because I didn't have to mash a whole lot. There were some weapons that required a bit of mashing, and I had some trouble with those, it's true. But overall it wasn't a big deal. But here where mashing is much more important, yeah. Alright, here comes a big part of the run, chat. Can we do this? Done. Ledge warp first try, and here we go. Alright, I'm gonna have to focus for this part. Oh no. Did I accidentally release the shot in the wrong angle or something? I think I had the wrong angle for that. Didn't get it. That was the correct setup, but I just didn't get it. Nope. Setup correct, no RNG for that. Wow, that sucks. I've done the setup correct like 3 times now and I didn't get the door to open. RNG is a bitch for this. I don't know what happened there. Finally. Oh no. Yikes. That bad wall jump just cost me like 10 seconds for no reason. Oh no, the double press on the missile because I'm not used to the button. Okay. Yo, Mr. Greggy! I forgot to turn on streamer bot. Sorry about that. I'll turn it on as soon as I have the opportunity to do that. Wait, why are my shots not doing anything? What the fuck? Nice snapback away from the box. Is this not registering my presses or what? Dude, what the fuck is going on? It's just not registering my presses? Huh? Like, I was raking as before and it just wasn't doing anything. What the fuck? Oh? It's like I wasn't even pressing. Oh my god, dude. I wasn't expecting much out of raking here, but like... Shit. That wasn't even slow, that was like non-existent mashing. What? Is it something to do with the Emmy here? Rough run today? I mean... I'm not sure what to tell you, man. I am admittedly trying to play with a control scheme that I'm not used to. There's nothing else that I'm gonna get but a rough run. But I wasn't expecting the mashing there to be just non-existent. It's like my mashing wasn't even doing anything. You could see that there were no shots coming out, even though I was raking. And now I'm gonna lose even more time. All right. The fight still went pretty fast despite that rough start. It's just that when I was using the D-pad mashing, I felt a bit... It was easier for me to just move around in free aim because the left hand had a lot less work to do. Left hand was just free aim and movement and sliding if I needed. So it was very easy to just manage that. But now the left hand is that plus weaving. And right hand is just mashing. So some of the effort that I was using, you know, I had more effort on the right hand. Oh shoot, I need to focus for this. Whatever. Well, I didn't get any power bombs, so rip. Anyway, I was putting more effort into my right hand before than I am now. And I still have to get used to that with my left hand. Now the left hand is doing more work. Oh, I think this is what I was doing with the Emmy. I thought I was raking, but I was not properly pressing the button. Yeah, so pretty much my end game is gonna automatically lose a lot of time because I'm still am not used to this. Just how it is, chat. 149, so I think my best entry rush time used to be something like a 136, 135. We're not really gonna get a time save from switch 2 on this section because there are no loads here from powerbomb. But I should at least be able to keep up time with that, and maybe even get a better time now with raking. Okay, I need to optimize this section for no jumps. Could I still get like a 106, 107? Damn. Dude, man, that's 30 seconds lost immediately. Shit. Yeah, that's 30 seconds plus a few. My best Ravenbeak time with the other control scheme was still better than this. Even if I did get 15 Hertz for a gold skill. And I kind of forgot how escape goes with no upgrades. Oh no. Alright, 141 escape is actually pretty nice. For no upgrades. No way, that is actually really good. But that's not from checkpoint, so it does go a little faster than checkpoint. That might be like a 140 or 139 from checkpoint. GG Sonic. 107.38 is actually 2 seconds slower than my former NMG time. It's like the time I had here before I deleted all of my time history, so yeah, unlucky, didn't even PB. So I lost a lot of time, If the best runners were getting like 102 without Storm Skip on Switch, no, that was Switch 2, but like if they were getting 102s with the old route, then I have a lot of time to save. So almost 2 minutes just off of short boost, and then the rest of, I don't even understand how 102s were even possible. I don't even know where I have that time save. It's like spread all throughout the run, but well, the biggest time losses are Cateries and in short boost, obviously, and in endgame, all of endgame. I think Wave Beam and Storm Skip can be a whole minute faster, over a minute faster. In fact, I think it can be a sub 5 if I do it well enough. I lost time to both having to redo the setup multiple times because I didn't get it. I actually did the setup correctly, but I only got it on like the 5th try, so I think that was really RNG. Or I moved the stick out of position for the beams angle, and that's that. So like half a minute in Cateries to a bad atom skip and movement and messing around with that pseudo shot. So like half a minute for sure early on. 2 minutes at screw attack. Actually, not exactly 2 minutes, but almost. Maybe like 150. So 220 so far on the big time saves. Another minute from, I don't even know how much time really I could save on Storm Skip, but another minute on Storm Skip, so 320. Another half a minute from not doing Gold Skip, plus a few extra once I do get good at raking. So I think we're already going like on a 4-minute time loss to the big mistakes. So I think we're talking about a 104-ish without the big mistakes. But then I still have another 2 or 3 minutes to save on smaller stuff. So if top runners were getting 102s, actually borderline sub 102s, yeah, I should have even more time to save with Storm Skip. But outside of Storm Skip, I'm still gonna have to look for a 3-minute time saver or more in the rest of the run. Might have to study up on those runs if they are still anywhere in existence on the internet. Anyway, folks, I think that's gonna be it from me today. I don't feel like there's no point in me just going too hard at runs at the moment. I should of course do runs to practice general movement, but I'm losing a lot of time in endgame to not being very good at raking, and actually cost me a lot with Gold Skip. So yeah, I'm gonna take it easy. My plan was to try and go for a low NMG time and stuff, but I don't think that I'm gonna have enough time to get used to this before Prime comes out. I was also thinking of doing all bosses unrestricted, but to be honest, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that before Prime comes out. It's gonna take all that time just to get used to the new control scheme, and then I'm gonna move on to play another speed game. To be fair, folks, I did promise my YouTube community that I would do Metroid Prime Remaster any %. It was voted a while back. Most of the votes went to Super Metroid. I've already played Super Metroid any % and got a sub-hour time, which I'm quite proud of. The grind isn't over. I do intend on grinding that again one day. But I think it's about time I go for Prime Remastered. I will still try to figure this one out with Dread. but I really don't think I'm gonna be able to push the times that far, like in just a month before Prime 4 hits. And then Prime 4 hits and I'm not gonna touch Dread for a while. Probably, most likely. So I'm unsure what to do, folks, but I think I'm going to continue to practice raking. Yeah, maybe I'll just go ahead and do some. I honestly see myself getting an any percent Prime run going before Prime 4 is out, than actually getting to like 103 tier runs before it comes out. But I will continue to practice the raking for sure. I know very little about Prime speedruns. Looking forward to seeing that one. Yeah, Limo. I don't know. I hope it's gonna be a fun game. I do hope that it's gonna be fun to try and speedrun. Until further information, that would be hard to tell. I'd say this plenty of times, but like there have been other games since Dread that I thought, damn, I'm gonna speedrun this game too. Now that I've kicked things off with Dread, I'm gonna try to speedrun other games and stuff, but it's hard to tell before playing it. Sometimes you just gotta play the game to know if it like clicks with you. Is this a game that you're okay with replaying multiple times? Is it that fun that you can just sit through playing this game and this game only for a long time? And like Dread was it. I enjoyed playing Dread for years now. A single player game that if I weren't speedrunning I would have played like once or twice and never touched it ever again, but lo and behold, here we are. I don't know what to say about Prime 4. I hope it's gonna be a fun game. This is, as a speedrunner, this is something that has to go into consideration for any game that I play. Like, is this a fun game to play? Is this gonna make for a fun speed game? Only time will tell. I'll have to wait and see how it feels to play it. I very much hope that it will be fun and that speedruns will be good on that. I will definitely be doing speedruns early on. But if I continue doing it for, you know, beyond the release, that is the question. First and foremost, I just want to have fun playing it casually. Same. I mean, that's what I did with Dread. I first played Dread casually. That's it. I don't go into a game looking to speedrun it. I just want to enjoy the casual playthrough, and then if it was good, if it was enjoyable, if it was fun, if I feel like you know, we got some kick in this game, then we go for it. That's how I did it with Dread. That's how I'll do it with any other game that I play going forward, and pretty much I've always done. So yeah, I also enjoy my casual playthrough experience before. I don't think anyone tries to speedrun a game before anything else, because one, like, to actually speedrun a game, I think this is a common misconception for some people. In fact, I've had commenters on YouTube come to me and say, oh wow, Arkandy, you ruin speed games. Speedrunners are really horrible people that ruin the game for everybody else. Yeah. Like, you don't speedrun a game unless you've spent countless hours playing it. Of course, you've had a casual playthrough before you speedrun a game. It doesn't make sense to try to speedrun something if you've never even touched the game before. Like, there is a process, right? You gotta start from zero, no matter what. Even if you studied speedrun videos from other people before you started playing a game, there is still gonna be a learning process going from start to, you know, going from square zero to wherever you want to go, right? The under 4 hour run for Dread is what got us. True. That is true. Like, I played my first playthrough and then, okay, let's go for that 4 hour run. But I didn't go look. That's not the moment I joined the speedrun Discord. I first tried to route it on my own, like just figure out, okay, so where did I go through my first playthrough that I could actually improve now? I know a few shortcuts. I knew about that green teleportal shortcut, so I went for that on the second playthrough. I'm not sure I even got sub 4 hours in my first attempt, but I was close at the very least. And then when I got it, that's when I joined the Discord and saw the tricks and like, wow, these people are skipping the tutorial Amy? What the hell? Oh my god, these people are skipping drug? Like that water boss? What? You can just bomb jump to get to ice missile? I spent so much time looking for. I spent so much time. I put so much effort trying to come up with a speed booster to get up there, and these people just water bomb jump to get up there. Dude, getting into the speedrun Discord was just like mind blowing, because I thought that initial route I made for, you know, casually was just so nice. Like, how are you even gonna save time here? I'm taking all the shortcuts that I know, and yet people found amazing shortcuts, and the run was like 2 hours faster than what I could do, right? So, yeah. And then I fell into the rabbit hole, like, wow, you can actually get a run that's 2 hours faster than this? Okay, I don't care if I'm not gonna unlock anything else, I'm gonna do that shit. And that's how I got into speedrunning. And my first few runs were over 3 hours long. But, you know, every run for a while was a PB. 3 hours, 2.5, 2:10, sub 2 hours, 150s, 140s. Then I switched to digital and broke the 130 barrier, and you know, it was just fun to keep shaving away at the PB times. I really hope that Prime 4 is going to be fun to do that with. I hope it has some amount of glitches to make sequence breaking fun. I hope the motorbike is not going to be a hassle to play through in the speedrun. I just hope. Getting the quick kill on Z57 for the first time was so cool. Yeah, my Z57 casual kill must have been awful. I think I spent a lot of time shooting at Z57, and I think I took like multiple parry cutscenes because I was having a hard time dodging his moves. I just took the parry whenever I had the chance, hoping that it would help me get the kill. I must have taken like 10 parries and this bitch just wouldn't die. And, you know, later I learned that from other people in the community that taking parries is bad because it like cuts your damage in half, chat. So that's what my casual playthrough was like. And I'm sure for a lot of other people, and as a casual player you have no real way to know that parries actually reduce the damage you deal. So kind of stupid mechanic, but yeah. Because like, you spent most of the game getting told that meleeing enemies and taking parries is good. So you do that for bosses too, but when it comes to bosses, it actually is not good. But the game spends a good amount of time teaching you that doing the parries is good, right? Anyway, folks, that's gonna be it from me today. We'll probably be back tomorrow, probably the weekend. I know I feel like there's not much to get from runs until I learn to do the proper raking setup. So I think next time I'm just gonna get started on Prime any %. Not doing runs, I need to learn the tricks. And there are some new things since the last time I played. When Prime Remastered came out, I played casually again. Then I tried to learn some speedrun tricks, but I struggled to find guides. I struggled to get help in the Discord. Like, I asked for help and nobody cared. So maybe I'll try again, see if there are some good tutorials. There's actually a new way to get space jump. You used to have to get morph bombs first, but now you can just get space jump as soon as you arrive on the planet, which is really cool. I need to learn that. I need to finish learning Ice Beam before Various Suit. I was almost done learning it, but I never got a successful attempt. I got close. So maybe now is going to be the time I actually get it. I'm going to do some practice on stream. That's what I'm going to do. See if I can learn the space jump tech and that ice beam stuff, and then the power bombs early and whatever else I need to learn. Casually it's still good, I'd say, since it gives you a free few seconds to just fire it, and it gives you more missiles and health. It's just a shame that it actually just cuts down on your damage. So it ends up just, it ends up extending your fights much longer. You just get much longer fights for doing the parries. You're basically kind of getting a little punished for getting the those power-ups, right? The heals and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I had no complaints about it casually. Only later I found, oh really? So I did this casually and it was bad. It's the kind of thing that what was the saying? What your eyes don't see, your heart won't feel, something like that. It's the kind of situation that you run into there. All right, you know what? Next time we'll start doing some Prime Remastered practice, because I feel like there's no point doing Dread runs right now. I'm just gonna get these bloated times because I'm not used to the control scheme. I will probably alternate streams, like one day I'll do Dread, another day I'll do Prime, and I think we're gonna grind this until Prime 4 comes out. I think that's what we're gonna do. Folks, thank you so much for hanging out and watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.